Hello Cancers and welcome to Deku Tarot. I'm going to be doing your July 15th through the 31st of 2019 mid-monthly spiritual and tarot reading. So as you can tell Cancers, I've kind of switched up my format. This just feels more authentic to me. I feel I can get more involved in the messages. I feel less rushed and it gives me a lot more time to create other content, videos, and art stuff that I would like to work on in my spare time, whereas doing the weeklies just felt like I just didn't have the energy for it and it just became too forced. And this feels a lot more natural for me, and I can kind of cover all the astrological things that are happening, the sun in one side versus the sun in the other sign for that month. So I figured 1st to 15th to 31st just felt like a better way to do things, and I hope you guys agree and that you aren't too upset with me for switching that over. It just kind of works out better for me as a reader. So without further ado, let's get right into your reading though. Sorry about those little messages there. I'm sure some of you guys just skipped right over and that's fine. But if you want to book a private reading, guys, all that information is right below this video in the description box. And do remember to like, share, and definitely subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it, guys. I love all my Cancers. I'm a Cancer rising myself, so I've definitely been feeling the changes, especially with that new moon total solar eclipse there. That was intense. That brought up a lot. I mean, this whole month is such a reawakening, and for you guys, Cancer sun, moon, and rising are definitely experiencing it, along with Capricorn rising and moon, and maybe Capricorn suns, pretty much the heaviest. And it's been an intense month, a lot of intense changes. I feel like it's hard to describe it any other way, especially with all the retrograde stuff going on, which is, again, super fun. We have, what is it now? Pluto, Capricorn, Saturn, Neptune, and now Mercury, all retrograde at once. And it sucks. And if you want to look at more into the astrology, I would suggest Nadia Shah. I would suggest Gregory Scott. They have some great ways to describe this because it just feels convoluted, and maybe it's because everything is retrograde that nothing seems to make sense. And I don't think it's going to make sense to us until after all these retrogrades are kind of righted by the end of the year, especially for the bigger retrogrades that are happening with, Saturn and Jupiter. But there's also, I feel like once Mercury retrograde ends, with the Mercury retrograde, you know how it affects my speech if you've been following me for a while. It kills me. But I feel like after Mercury retrograde, we'll be able to see things in a brighter way. So things might feel really frustrated at this time. And if you guys saw your July 2019 video, the one that I first put out, and again, those messages go for the whole month because I didn't start doing the 1st to 15th. So I am going to talk about a little bit about what came up in that video in the case of that we're being forced to wait, and yet we know that we're about to have to go and run ahead. It feels a lot like, again, remember when I talked about you guys are trying to chill, and yet you have to go set up for a party in an hour in the next room, and you're hearing everybody else set up, and everyone's like, no, you take a nap, you chill, you haven't slept. And you're like, I can't, because I know I'm going to have to get up. And it's the anxiety. It's almost an Aries type feeling of, I hate waiting. I don't want to have to wait. I don't want to have to sit for a second. Let's just go. So it's an interesting place to be in. And we haven't even pulled a card yet. So let's pull a card for your energy here. Let's pull a card. 3 of Pentacles. But again, realize that whatever is, again, because I feel like it's involving a lot of other people. Even when I think about it, like I was just saying, there's other people involved. There's other people telling you, right now you have to wait. Right now is not the time to go. It's also a lot of that energy of other people helping you at the same time. Even if it might not feel like help at first, it just feels to me that you're building new foundations here. You're being asked to look at your foundation and say, is this built strongly? Is what you're trying to do right now, is the way you're going about it really the best way to go about it, the best way to build this foundation? Are you really aligned in mind, body, spirit? Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe you can do this? And you guys know that you're building the foundation for a long time to come right now. And yet as you're building this foundation, you're being asked to throw out some people, situations, attachments, relationships that you didn't really think you were going to have to. And it doesn't feel very good. As you can see, usually in the Three of Pentacles, you know, there's two other people here, but she's kind of on her own. And to me, that speaks a lot about, speaks to, thank you, Mercury. It speaks a lot to building on your own this month. I know that sounds like a really dumb way to put it. I'm going to be talking this way probably until the end of the month when Mercury finally goes direct. But it's needing to make sure that you yourself are aligned in your own foundations. Are you building, you know, again, you have to really look at if you've been codependent in relationships, if you've been too lenient on a job, if you've been, you know, leaning too hard on a job, like using all these other things for your strength and to kind of prop you up, to hold you up, to stabilize you. Sorry, I just got a bug bite. You're going to really be asked to look at it in a more how do I describe this? In a more alone perspective. I feel like I can't English this reading. What's going on? Again, because this is really affecting you guys, I think. It's like, as soon as I tapped into your energy, it's like Mercury retrograde just like hit full force. I felt like, I don't know, you just feel like somebody just came over and knocked the wind out of your sails there. And yet you're not doing badly. I think that things are going up and up. And that's why we're being asked to look at what we're still leaning on, and do we really need to lean on it? Again, that can be relationships, attachments to certain, you know, goals that we've had in mind. You know, I've always wanted to live here. I've always wanted to do this. Do you still want to do that? And why are you building your life around something that maybe isn't present right now, or maybe isn't important to you anymore? So what are we building our life structures on? What are we building our foundation on right now, especially in terms of the home, money, the physical, our physical surroundings, and the people that are physically around us, and also how we are spending our money? It's a great time for new foundations. But again, this is almost, I mean, July just feels like a rude awakening. It's rude. I mean, people are just saying things like, in the harshest ways, and they don't even realize it. And maybe you guys are too, but we're right. I mean, I'm doing this reading right in the middle of these eclipses. So we've already been through your eclipse, the eclipse in your new moon. Well, now we're going towards, you know, Capricorn on the 16th, and that's a partial lunar eclipse there. And the conversation and the kind of aspect it's making to Pluto is bringing up, it's bringing up a lot of tumultuous crap, if I'm being honest. It's bringing up, you know, it's exposing, it's like when you rip off a Band-Aid and you expose that wound to air, and you knew it wasn't doing so good because you didn't put Neosporin on it or wash it for a day, and you're like surprised by how bad it's doing, or how gross it is, or how much you don't want to look at it. But if you don't deal with it, you might lose that leg. So I know that's a really gross way to describe it, but that's kind of how I feel, guys. Again, forced. When I see the Ace of Wands reverse, you know, we know that there's a new beginning coming again, guys. We know it's coming. We want it. We've been working towards it, and we haven't done anything to not deserve this. Like, you guys absolutely do deserve it, but the energy is blocked right now. So again, I'm gonna have to ask you guys to take a seat, have a drink, try to sit in the sun and enjoy your season right now. Treat yourself kindly, and realize that when the universe says go, you can go. But right now we are paused. It's like somebody pressed a pause button just as you were ready to start running. And again, when you see that Ace of Rods reverse, it just, you're feeling impoverished in our energy as well. So I do want to say, going to feel depleted of energy. You're going to feel like, wait, I was just ready to do all this and now I'm exhausted and now nobody's getting back to me, and why did this fall through, and wasn't this person supposed to call me like last week, and why is nothing going, why is nothing working? And I can say on a personal level, as a Cancer rising, it's been happening a lot. It's really irritating. It's very irritating. And you guys know that it's not forever. So you know, like, as soon as this breaks at the end of the month here, it's going to be like, and especially, I think it's going to start more when, you know, the sun moves into Leo, but especially when Mercury retrograde ends, it's going to be like the flood wall breaks and everything that you were waiting for to start and everything that you were waiting to begin is finally like, go, go, go. You're getting all those emails. Suddenly everybody remembered you. Suddenly everybody remembered, oh, hey, maybe I owed you this money. Maybe I feel like I borrowed that from Cancer. I never paid them back. Or maybe I owed them that apology and maybe I did this. And you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. I thought this was stunted, and now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here we go again. Uranus is in Taurus. Don't forget that as well. Check out what that means for you. Someday I'll get back to those videos, probably. What's in your surroundings? What's in your environment, the people, events, things happening around you and to you? What is this? And there is no lack of this card lately because we're in Mercury retrograde. And when Mercury retrograde happens, I mean, Six of Cups happens. God, people come out of the woodwork. I remember what I was saying, people coming back to apologize, say this, say that. That could be happening before Mercury retrograde is over, but don't discount that shadow period. There'll still be people, exes, situations, all sorts of things that you never thought you'd hear from coming back around to say, hey, Cancer, did you forget about that project that we talked about like 6 years ago? Let's start on that now. And you're like, wait, you want to do this now? Okay, all right, let me just like go put on my thinking cap. Let me just go prepare because I was just about to go, you know, kick ass over here, and show off how amazing I am at my job and all these other wonderful things that are happening to me. But you at the same time of you coming up and getting ready to step into this new chapter that is so wonderful and successful for you, there is people, situations, past situations that needed to be wrapped up, you know, people wanting to come back for closure. I feel like there's a lot of exes coming back, a lot of friendships that didn't work out, or like weird, I feel like these are just like weird people that you've had like weird whatever, you know what I'm talking about, people that you're no longer friends with because of a falling out. Ugh. You like speech therapy for Mercury retrograde. Offers, situations, it's coming into you. 15th to the 30th. I mean, the sun is moving into Leo, thankfully, a little less than a week after that partial lunar eclipse. But again, that partial lunar eclipse and this area in between it is like everything, like there are just changes, eruptions. You're like, I have to let go of this, I have to start this. There is so much that you want to do right now, and it's like, every time you try, you're going to get blocked right now. So don't get too frustrated about that because that's just the energy. Wait. Literally, if you want to start something, again, because I was thinking about offers, opportunities, people coming into your life with an offer, jobs, you know, anything that's coming in to join your life, to be offered to you. And we get the Four of Swords. And what do we see her doing here? Sleeping, resting, waiting. The Four of Swords asks us to wait, asks us to sit back, to take a nap, to meditate, to go within. Take our necessary time out, crawl back into our little crab shell for a little bit. You're going to be exhausted. This is an exhausting season. Make sure you are getting enough rest. And I think also while you are resting, while you are napping, while you're meditating is when you're getting a lot of really important messages, information. Okay, so don't be afraid to take some time out for yourself in all this. You don't have to answer all those random DMs from people in your past. You don't have to go and you know, entertain that person that you dated 6 months ago, or, you know, 6 years ago, that's telling you, I never got over you, you're the one. You don't even have to entertain those messages. You can just ignore them. Because it's Mercury retrograde, and those things are just, it feels almost like illusions, weird stuff coming back to you, and you're like, all right, there's too much going retrograde right now, so I am just going to sit and chill. And like, I know that things are about to, you know, I know that somebody's about, it's almost like you're being asked to take a nap here. Take that hour nap, and in an hour, someone's going to shoot off a gun, and you're just going to have to start sprinting. It's a relay race. So that's just what's going on, Cancer. That's what you're doing. And you're like, okay, well, I know I need my rest because I didn't sleep last night. I was anxious for this. I've been working so hard for this. I want to win this. And yeah, you're already almost disadvantaged because you're being asked to wait, because you're being asked to lie down until the second the gun goes off and says, run. So, sorry, almost so many cards almost just came out. But let's look at what might help or hinder you, what's in your power and your hindrance. Four of Cups reverse. I'm laughing because the Four of Cups reverse is kind of my crying card. And Cancers, I think that you guys are known to be a little bit more emotional, especially Cancer rising, Cancer sun. You guys can be a little bit more emotional, and that's okay. I'm Cancer rising, I cry about everything, so I understand. But what's in your power and also in what holds you back is getting too emotional. Know that you're allowed to be emotional about certain things. You're allowed to be emotional when things don't go your way. You're allowed to release, the emotions. And I think I saw something on Instagram the other day where it was like, putting your tongue to the roof of your mouth will stop you from crying. And that might help you. I don't know where I saw that. I saw it like on some Instagram, or maybe it was a Twitter thing. I don't know. I'm more on Twitter than Instagram, so I think it was Twitter. Anyways, not important, but try it out. See if it works this month. If you think that being overly emotional about a situation is not working out, time to let that one go and to stop being overly emotional. Let go of that emotion. But also the Four of Cups says to stop sitting in dissatisfaction. If you've been feeling depressed, emotional, down, it's time to have a big cry, take a couple of self-care days and then spring forward, get ready for things to be better and to stop being so emotional. So release what you need to, but don't make it a constant habit this month. Don't, sink into despair. Have your cry and then get back up, okay? And start going forward. Stop sitting in that energy. All right. And anything else from Spirit here? Advice, guidance? Are we going to love? Oh! Why is the Tower coming out as advice and guidance? Oh my God, Cancers. It's your month. This is why I did Capricorn and then you guys first. You love me, right? It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. The Tower is here. We're being asked again to have some harsh revelations. What isn't working for us? Look at the omens, okay? Look at the proverbial writing on the wall. Don't ignore the elephant in the room. Make the change that you're being asked to make. Say what you know you need to say. Do what you know you need to do. When the Tower comes up, I want to say it's a good thing though. This is a good thing. I really feel like it's a good thing. And I know you guys are like, no, you're just saying that, you're a liar. And I would tell you if I thought it was a bad thing, but I think all the changes right now honestly are great and they're for the best, but they suck. They really suck. I'm not going to pretend like they don't suck. They suck so much. These suck. These changes they're painful, and especially as a sign that doesn't like change. You guys deal better with it than probably Sun and Taurus. Venus and Taurus, like me, I hate it. I'm not a big fan of change. I love change and I hate it. But you're adapting. This is upright. You're having your cry. You're taking your naps. You're going within. You're being like, I see what I have to let go of. And I see that if I sit here dissatisfied for any longer, this is going to come at me and it's going to be much worse. So some of you guys are like, okay, I do see what I need to change. I do see what I'm not happy about, what is bringing me disharmony in my life, what has not brought me what I've wanted. And I'm going to do something about it now. And this is what you do. You know, you kick that nasty person out. You cut off, you know, the toxic friendship. You cut off the toxic relationship. You stand your ground. You start building on foundations that are good for you and not for just everybody else. You stop opening your arms like the mother to everybody. You start to be more discerning in terms of who and what you let into your energy and in your inner circle, into your home, into your life to build with. This is big. You guys are transforming your life, and because of that, you're being asked to. I think that for a lot of you, it's been career and more like, you know, you're on your glow up in terms of that, like you're doing well, and all the other areas of your life that have been stagnating or that aren't satisfied, that aren't on that same level, are falling away in kind of a painful. And it's painful because, again, you're the crab. You want to cling on to what you love. You guys are so loving. And I've never heard of a Cancer having an easy time with a breakup or letting somebody go or ending a friendship, because they want to nurture it, love it, and take care of it. You know, why would I bring this into my life? Why would I hold on to it if it wasn't meant to stay? Some things are not meant to stay, and it's time to realize that. It's time to build something to build what you really want, instead of, you know, what's being put in your lap, and you don't have to just take everything. You don't have to say yes to everything. You don't have to be nice to everybody all the time. You don't have to do that. Let's go on to love here. And I'm going to use good old Rider-Waite here for love. Again, this is going to bring up, I think, a lot of fluctuating emotions, especially having to do with our self-esteem. Because I feel like whatever we're releasing, whatever is like... This halted moment is making you look at a lot of emotional attachments for you. A lot of bad behaviors, things that have not worked out for you to hold on to. Like, not even just behaviors, but like... secrets you've held on to, even other people's secrets. Everything is just like exposed. So like, if you knew that something was eventually going to come out for the better or worse because it just had to, you've been holding on to it and it's been right there, it'll be out there, especially with other people too. I think that we're seeing and having things exposed to us that are changing everything. It just gave me chills. So love and relationships. I think it has a lot to do with love and relationships. Two of Cups reversed. There is, again, like I was saying, guys, there could be a loss of love, a breakup. Realizing that we are not as connected, especially for those of us in relationships, we're not happy with the connection. We don't feel it anymore. And we're wondering, why can't we connect? What's the loss of affection, love? It's like, again, the rose-colored glasses were ripped off and you're like, you're just a person. Whoa! A Tower. You know what that means. Dynamic changes in a relationship. Whether it's you or somebody else, and I think it's either you. I think it's probably you that's making these endings, honestly. That's saying enough is enough. I'm out. I don't want to be with you, or, you know, this isn't working out. Knight of Wands, though. Knight of Swords reversed. And again, I think that some of you guys are breaking up or having breakups, you know, taking time off because you're like, I hate the way I just said that, but you are moving forward into an energy that is purely your own. You're trying to follow your own path, decide what you want. You feel new. That Tower has come down in two areas of your life here. Again, I feel like, again, there's radical changes in love, but there's also radical changes in yourself and, you know, your own life that you've built up for yourself here. It is big. Some people aren't going to be happy with it, Knight of Swords reversed. Some people are going to have a lot to say that isn't positive. People that, again, remember, people that mind don't matter. I think that's how it goes. Again, I'm sorry if I'm like thinking of a poem actually, but I can't. I need to have my W.B. Yeats poem here with me, but I don't have it. I mean, my book is in the other room. So maybe in another reading, I'll read some poetry. W.B. Yeats always gives me those Cancer vibes. Maybe we should dip back into those. Again, if you're going through a hard time, especially emotionally, especially with love, go read some W.B. Yeats. Okay, Cancers, I think I just called you Capricorn. If I did, I'm sorry. You and Capricorn could, I think, use some poetry right now. I'm sorry that this is such a painful reading here. I'm sorry that this feels painful right now, but know that this is all for growth. You know, Spirit, it sucks and it's confusing. And with all the retrograde stuff, it just feels like there's blinders and layers of smoke and mirrors here, and we can't see where this is really leading us. But look, we're being asked to realize that we are not in a victimized position. Don't get stuck in the victimhood, because if you do, you're going to get trapped there. Don't get stuck in, you know, I'm a victim, you know. Somebody says something rude about you or to you, or you see something online, or you know that somebody's, you know, talking smack or whatever behind your back, or trying to mess with you, trying to come at you because of, again, a love situation that didn't work out. You now know what this person's really like. And if they didn't show back up and, you know, there's just no connection there, now you know now you know what's going on here. Now you can see. Now you can see what's really happening. But what is said and what isn't being said, even more so what isn't being said, is allowing you to really see people for their true colors in terms of love this month. And I think it is going to be painful, but again, it's for the best, so that you can have an open, so that you're not in this victimized position of, you know, just going with however they're going or whatever they're doing and however they're feeling, and, you know, living by somebody else in a relationship. This just feels so much bigger. So let's get a romance angel card here, and then we'll get a Halloween oracle. Okay. Archangel Conwell, Archangel Arguello. It's coming out here. Separation. Time apart from your partners on the horizon. Some of you guys might need to take a break to go your own ways. You might need to travel even, or if you're not together, this might be time for yourself that they need as well. Again, if you're separating, if you're breaking up, leaving a marriage or relationship, I'm sorry. There just feels to be, know that this is, again, even if it's a separation, it's divinely guided, okay? You see the little angels there, the cherubs. Yeah, there might still be love there, and there might have been love there, but it's time to be apart at this moment, to learn something new, to understand that maybe the relationship from a different perspective. Let's get Halloween oracle for you guys. Okay. Messages of guidance and advice. Whoa, it came right out. It's Skull of Flowers, creating through the ashes. So we'll take that. Another message of guidance and advice. Well, your cards are popping right out. Wow, eternal love, and the mummy change. So we're gonna take them all. I wasn't gonna take it, and then I was like, I know it's meant to be. So let's look at Skull of Flowers first here. I'm sorry that this reading is so long. It didn't mean for it to be, but it's a powerful one. So we go with what happens here. Skull of Flowers, creating through the ashes. The Skull of Flower, sometimes we wish for a life different from the one we have, and that can mean radical change. Sometimes to have that new life, everything falls apart to make it so, and that can be uncomfortable. We may lose our relationships, or they may change. We might lose a job, have to move house, or become ill. All big events that lead to a reassessment of the how of our lives. The Skull of Flowers illustrates that there is a sureness and yet a rawness to creating again, to starting afresh. Sometimes the universe gives us a blank slate to work from so that we can build what we really want rather than just settling for less. The Skull of Flowers celebrates not just a kind of phoenix energy, but an energy of success and full bloom through adversity. So that's really beautiful, guys. Let's go on to Eternal Love. It's getting dark. I feel like it's about to rain here. And this is the only love card in the deck, so this is pretty awesome. Eternal Love. Should you choose this card, you are being reminded that love is the most powerful force in the universe. It is more powerful than death itself. Love lingers, it leaves its own legacy, and we should be aware of this every day that we live. For those that are ready for and desiring of a partner, it also indicates that a significant love is close at hand and to be ready to open up to this new experience. Wow, guys. So again, I think for those of you that are leaving relationships, know that there is always more love out there to be had. There's nothing to worry about. If you're afraid of leaving a situation, you're afraid of what is going to happen, where this is all going, do not worry. There is always more love out there if that is what you were afraid of. Let's look at Mummy. Mummy. Okay, I'm done. That was weird. Change. I'm sorry for being so weird. I thought I was being funny. Uncomfortable. Sorry. I was like, this feels uncomfortable for me. Should you pull the Moaning Mummy card from the deck, know that change is inevitable and that no matter how hard you try, things will not be preserved exactly the same way. The card also indicates that this change will be for the better. The endings, the closed doors, the barriers. This is just a healthy pause and an indication of that a change of tactics is needed. You are not cursed. You have just developed a pattern. You can take control and change it. Please listen to these messages, guys, anytime that you're feeling lost, stuck, frustrated this month. These are great affirmations, and they really are just proving to you guys that this is a pause for everything else to change, so do not worry. All right, Cancers, those are your messages for the month. I hope you enjoyed them. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Check out your other videos. If you want to book a private reading, all that information is right below this video in the description box. Do check out my Twitter and Instagram. I might be doing a giveaway actually for you guys, or a specialty for readings for you guys the rest of your season. I know I'm going to be doing one for Leo, and I didn't have a chance to do yours, so I felt bad. So check out my Twitter and Instagram if you want to know more about that. Also, if you want to get 20% off of anything from my Teespring, guys, which my Teespring design should be below. I designed all those things myself, so I'm excited to share them with you. If you want to get 20% off, use the code CANCERS with a capital C. I don't actually know if you need to capitalize or not, but use that code when you go to checkout. You'll get 20% off of your order. And again, guys, just have a wonderful and blessed month. Happy birthday to all my amazing Cancers, and thank you so much for all of your support, guys. I love and appreciate you guys so much, so thank you. Namaste.